Hey up guys, it's the Yorkshire Pudding. So I've recently taken down Zuk and achieved my Infernal Cape, but only after what was probably the longest Zuk kill in Gillenor. It's like ripping off a plaster, or band-aid if you're American, but taking 15 whole minutes to do so. So what I'm going to do is talk you through the kill and discuss what problems I came up against and how I solved them, along with what I was thinking as the fight progresses. I managed to kill Zuk on my second attempt. The first fight was a bit questionable in all honesty, but the nerves got to me and the second set of ranger and mages spawned before I got to the first checkpoint, which caught me off guard and I died. I didn't record this at first attempt like I have with the second, and for obvious reasons there's no live commentary because I was just trying not to die. I didn't want to speak over it, I just wanted to get my cape. So as you can see, the first set of mages and rangers have spawned. I got really lucky taking this ranger down. I happened to not splash too many times and I ended up taking him down before he actually did any damage to me, so that was quite lucky. I'm praying mage, so the major cannot hit me, and what you're meant to do at this stage is get the boss to about 600 health, just below 600 health. The reason being is when the boss reaches 600 health, the timer stops, and what the timer essentially does is once, I think it's about every 3.5 minutes. Once 3.5 minutes hits, another set of rangers and mages will spawn. So you want to get in below 600 health so it doesn't spawn in. So yeah, that's all I'm pretty much doing at the minute, getting in below that health. What happened on my first attempt is I tried getting in below 600 health, but my DPS was that low that I never ended up getting him below that before another set spawned, and that's sort of what messed me up. So just hiding behind the shield, always remain behind the shield. The safe spots are these yellow squares on the floor. You just got to go between each one. As soon as you see the attack, you're safe to move. So it's just attacked, decided to get another hit in. I'll see if I do it here. Yep, so he's attacked, I can go. You've got to stay just a bit in front of the shield, because just like your true tile on your actual character, the NPC, which is the shield in this case, is slightly in front where you think it is. I probably should have got an add-on to highlight that, but I didn't want to mess about that whilst doing Zuk, to be honest. So yeah, just getting below 600 health. Right, it's below 600, so what I decide to do is take on the major. Everything's going pretty smooth up to now. I am a bit low on prayer, and as you can see I've not got that much restores left. But just chipping away at the major now. You can't actually get him from this last tile, so I decided to get another hit in there. Yeah, 17 prayer I have, which is quite worrying. This is a long fight. I decided to turn off rigor because at this point the timer stopped anyway. I thought I'd just conserve my prayer, and I think we're only about a third into the fight. So yeah, this honestly gave me a bit of room to breathe. You cannot see how shaky my hands were and how fast my heart was beating during this, but I just thought I'll use this bit. The timer stopped just to relax and get my composure, but in the background my prayer was slowly draining, so I decided to kill the major. I should have probably hit him there, but I went for Zuk instead. See, I'm not perfect, but you know, all I cared about was getting my cape, and you'll see why it took me so long in a second. So I drink Super Restore. No, I don't. Decided against it. Thought we were going to drink it then. Oh, 1 HP, so you didn't want to die that one. Right, he's dead. And obviously this is where I can... The timer stops, so I can just go for the face. But the problem is, I'm quite low on prayer. And I have an excess of prayer renewal potions. They last about 8 minutes each. I've still got 2.5 minutes left on the prayer renewal at the top left, as you can see. And I decided to use that to my advantage, because what I don't want to do is run out of restores, because as good as prayer renewals are, once I've activated rigor and my prayer later on, I'll just run out of prayer and I'll die. And I didn't want to die due to lack of prayer. And I didn't want to have to start prayer flicking either. That's not what I wanted to do. So just using this bit to get a bit of prayer back. In reality, if you're going for a speed run, or if you're trying to beat the timer when it's up, what you need to do is put rigor on and just go for the face. Don't miss any game ticks. what you're meant to do is hit him, run, hit him, run, hit him, run. But I'm just taking my time. I'm letting my prayer get up. I've deactivated Rigger. As you can see, it's slowly going up in the top right, and that's what I decided to do. So this is one of the reasons why it's taken me so long. What I didn't realise, as you'll see later on, is I run out of my stamina potions, which means slowly you'll see near the end, my run nearly goes to 0, and that would have killed me as well. That was a slight mistake, but all this is going through my mind all at once. So yeah, just taking this nice and slow. My hands are shaking, and yeah, this was quite intense. But that's the reason why I'm just letting my prayer get up now. So yeah, just breathe. Look, this is my second time at Zuk, so you will still be nervous, and anyone who's done the Inferno, they'll tell you the exact same thing. Maybe unless you're Wooks or something who managed to do the... Is it Wooks or Wooks? I think it's Wooks. He did 6 Jads with no prayer. If you've not seen that on YouTube, check it out after this. It's quite something. So yeah, I think when he gets to about 470 health, that is when the Jad spawns. So I just decided to get a bit more prayer first, so I'm not having to worry about that during Jad. And I decided to take him down. Oh, no, not dead just yet. Yeah, so I hit him now, and this should get... No, I've splashed, never mind. So I decided to hit him again here, just to get the Jab to spawn, and... no, wait, hit to 0. Right, so I use Rigger. Jad's about to spawn. What I do, click Jad straight away so he doesn't hit my shield, and get ready to pray. And he's used range first. So this, to anyone looking in who's not tried the Inferno, this seems really difficult, and to be honest, Jad's easy. Jad is really easy. The most difficult part is not moving and clicking Jad, it's the fact that you've just spent over 3 hours in the Inferno, and one mistake by Jad or by Zuk could get you killed. If you're not behind the shield, Zuk will just one-hit you. That's the problem. If you miss a Jad hit, he could also one-hit you. So that's another problem. Then the healers will come, which will come in any moment now. I think they're spawning now, yeah. Don't get sidetracked too much by the healers, because you still need to stay behind the shield. So I hit 2 here, and then I decided to get behind this one. I didn't want to get dragged, because I'm just playing it safe. I know you're meant to go for the face in this, I get that. Tried saying that to someone on the second Zuk attempt. It does take a lot of willpower just to go for the face. And you'll see by my strategy I use a bit later on that I'm not too concerned for time. I'll explain that soon. My main concern is running out of prayer and supplies, so that is a bit of a time gate in all honesty. But I'm not bothered if the second set of Ranger and Mage spawns before the healers do. In fact, that's the strategy I've used. Not seen many guides covering that, in all honesty. A lot of them just say go for it, just kill, kill, kill. I get that, I understand that. A lot of them who say that are better players. You know, no Monkey, for example, he says just go for the face. I completely understand that. What I didn't want to do is let the Major and Ranger spawn at the same time as the healers, because I think that would have got me killed. So Rigger's on. I decided to take him down a bit, because I need to get him quite low. I think the healers come about 240 health. So get him down a bit, because what I don't want to happen is the healers and rangers, the Major and Rangers spawn too early either, because then the time is ticking down. And yeah, I decide to get his health down a bit and let the Major and Ranger spawn. But at this moment I realised I messed up, because if you look at the bottom right, I've run out of stamina potion, and my stamina potion has actually run out. Well, the timer's run out as well, so I've got no stamina potion. And I'm on 94 energy, which it doesn't sound bad at the minute, but you'll see how low it gets. You've got to constantly run bearing in mind. So that is a problem in the back of my mind. I should have probably used it a bit more sparingly, in all honesty. My prey is still pretty low, and I'm thinking, God, I've still got to get through the hardest bit, which is the healers. The healers are definitely the hardest bit on this one, as anyone will tell you. The Jad, by the time you've done the 3 Jads, by the time you've done the regular Jad, it's not that hard. It's only hard if you make one mistake, but it's not the hardest part of the fight. The healers are definitely the hardest part. So what I end up doing here is just just waiting for the ranger mage to spawn before I get him down. That's why I'm not using every tick to my advantage. But in the back of my mind, I'm completely aware that my prayer's running out and my run's running out. So all this is happening at once, and you've got to make these decisions when your heart's racing, your hands are shaking, and you think, so look, they've just spawned. Take him down. What you need to do is get your mage prayer up. However, the ranger will be hitting the shield until you tag him. Luckily, I've got a lot of health on the shield. But I've really got lucky with RNG here. You'll see how quick I take out the ranger, and he doesn't really get a chance to damage me, which was super lucky. I could have switched to my blowpipe, but I was hitting quite high. So that really worked in my favour, and I felt a bit of relief then. But at this moment, I knew that the healers were going to spawn at any time. And you've sort of got to be in the right position to take them out efficiently. So sip the restore. Now they're spawning, blow pipe out. There's a bit of a glitch where, I think it's a glitch or a feature, I'm not sure, where if you hit a healer, it takes a moment before he turns around until you can hit him again. I don't know why that is. So what I do is hit the other one, tag it, and go back to the other one. Do the blowpipe walk as much as I can. You're always going to take a bit of damage on this one, but it's by far the most intense. They're healing him up. He's up to 650 now from 240 Zuk, so as you can see they've healed him quite high. This is why you need to tag him quite fast. Luckily I managed to take out a lot of the healers quite fast, but I'm using this moment to take some bruising, and my run's getting dangerously low. It's about 50, and if another set of healers were to spawn in, I wouldn't have probably made this, but now it's just a chance of, now it's just the time to go for the face. So sip some brews, sip a restore, use my Bastion potion, and now it's for the face. Bearing in mind, when the healers spawn, it goes in an enraged phase. So, like I mentioned, these are save spots earlier, the yellow tiles. That's no longer the case. He will hit more frequently, and you've got to sort of stay with the shield, which makes it a bit harder. And I've got a lot of health to get down before more rangers and mages spawn. So, that's what I'm doing now. My heart's going. I'm thinking, right, I've passed the hardest bit, but that sort of makes it quite bad, because if I die I'm going to be absolutely gutted. So luckily I hit quite high then. I'm doing this with crystal, which is more than possible obviously. It's nothing wrong with crystal, but a T-bow probably would have made this a bit easier. Would have done more damage. I didn't want to accidentally fall behind then. That's quite close. You can still stand on this side tile on this phase, that's fine. But you'll want to keep following it, especially in the middle part, so you don't get hit. Look, he's hitting a lot more frequently. So just chipping away at his health, thinking, oh god. See, this is the problem with them free. That's why I've marked them free tiles with pink. If you attack Zuk whilst on one of these pink tiles, it can drag you, which can actually get killed. So that's another issue you've got to watch out for. So yeah, just chipping away at his health. Decided to get a bit in front of it just in case. And I'm hitting him. At this point I'm thinking, god, if the healers and if the mage and rangers spawn in now, I might not actually do this. I could get comboed, I might panic. I hope the healers don't spawn in again. Apparently they can. Maybe if it heals them to 800, I'm not sure. But as you notice, one will spawn in now, but because it's so low I decided to go for the face. The problem is, if my shield was low, these mages and rangers could have taken out my shield, could have tagged them, but the mages are pretty stacked. And there we go. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I did it. I would just, yeah, took a deep breath, felt my heart rate, and yeah. That's Zuk. Probably one of the longest Zuk kills in history, but I explained why I did what I did. Would I have done things differently? Probably, but I just wanted to get that cape, even if it meant, you know, ripping off the plaster over the course of 15 minutes instead of just taking it off fast. Yeah, so that's Zuk. I will be doing a tips video on the Inferno. I'm not going to do a proper guide, because at the end of the day you're better off watching No Monkey or Theatrix or something like that for an Inferno guide. They're very skillful, but I have got a few tips to share on how I managed to do Zuk on my second attempt, and the Inferno really only took me just over a week, probably probably a week and a half, but I had a few days out due to personal reasons. So in overall, it probably took me about a week to do, which is not the fastest, but it can take people a couple of months, and I'd like to share a few tips on how I managed to do it that fast. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you guys will also try the Inferno at some point. It's more achievable than you think it is, and yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.